Hey everyone, welcome to the Gentleman Scholars Club. In today's episode, we'll be talking about how to wear the casual navy suit in summer. So immediately on hearing that topic, some people may wonder if this can be done. Some people think that suits can't be worn casually or shouldn't be. Others say that a suit shouldn't really be worn in summer. And the others may still say that navy is not the best color to be worn in hot weather or in a hot sunny situation. So while each of those objections has some validity, I hope to show you today how to overcome and that there are really many ways you can wear a navy suit casually in hot summer weather. So let's get started. So the idea for this video originated with an article I read, must be 2 years ago now, pre-pandemic, by Peter Zottolo, also known as Urban Composition, and he was writing for Style Forum. He had just gone on a trip to Pitti Uomo in Italy and was then gallivanting around Italy for the rest of his time there. And he was wearing as his foundational piece a navy suit from Eidos, Napoli, created during the Antonio Ciongoli era. And if you follow classic menswear, you'll be familiar with the name Antonio Ciongoli. There's a lot of nostalgia around his work with Eidos and how the designs he created when he was the creative mind there. Since he left Eidos, there's been a sense of loss for what he had done there. And Peter had picked up an Eidos suit, I think on eBay, or I think Antonio might have given it to him. And I was really impressed by the way Peter was able to wear that and carry it off. Don't always agree with his style choices. They look good on him, but not on me necessarily. But I was impressed how he was able to wear it in a number of ways, in a number of settings, playing bocce, going out to dinners, walking around towns in Italy, and it looked really good. And from that moment, I was sort of set on trying it for myself. Typically, I wear sport coats and odd trouser combinations in the summer, but recently I was able to jump into wearing suits again, and I saw this navy linen suit from Spier Mackay in the 2021 spring and summer collection. Thought I would give it a try. It's 100% Irish linen, and I figured attempt to wear it in a casual way, and I think it works well. It's not as expensive as Eidos as well, but I think the next best thing, and I think it can do what that Eidos suit did, and I'll talk about how that's possible. So first of all, when you choose a navy suit for summer wear, you want to avoid the typical worsted wool. Worsted wool is what you would see in the office, sort of a smooth, textureless, mid-weight wool. When you think of business suits, this is what you envision. Steer clear of that altogether and go for something that has more texture to it. If you want to stick with 100% wool still, you can go with hopsack or you can go with fresco. Both of these are more open woven, so the fabric has more ventilation, allows more ventilation during hot weather, and the little bit of added texture perhaps makes it seem less businesslike than your worsted wool would be. Other options, one of my favorites is linen, 100% linen, and I would do that with perhaps Irish linen as opposed to Italian linen. Irish linen tending to be heavier than Italian linen, which may seem counterintuitive in hot summer weather, but it does allow you to wear it with less rumpling. Irish linen tends to drape a little bit better than Italian linen and stands up more and doesn't rumple as quickly. However, if you're really in a hot climate or a situation where it's extremely hot, you might go with the Italian linen nonetheless and sacrifice some of that drape or surrender to the rumpling in favor of getting a little bit more coolness. Some people mention cotton suiting as a third option. I don't really like cotton suiting because cotton tends to drape poorly. It's also heavier even than an Irish linen and doesn't look the best, won't really keep you cool. The exception would be seersucker, and I'll show you a seersucker suit later in this video so you can get a sense of that. But I wouldn't necessarily choose cotton as an alternative fabric, even though it is less formal than your worsted business suit. A great option as the last possibility is a blend of some sort, and that could be a wool linen blend. It could be a blend of three fabrics like wool, cotton, and silk, or wool, cotton, and linen, or wool, linen, silk, or various other 3 or 4 fabric blends. Those tend to have a lot of texture. They tend to be strong in that area and to look casual while still looking sharp. So they wouldn't necessarily rumple as much as 100% linen. They tend to drape nicely, and cotton giving you less wrinkling than linen and so on. So that's a great possibility of trying to find blends of some sort. All these have in common the idea that you're going with texture and you're going with something that no one will be wearing in the office. The second consideration you want to think about is the construction or the design of the suit. So again, the worsted suit, the one that you typically see for business, tends to have structured shoulders, or there's some padding in there. They usually have either a jetted pocket, which would be a single slit here on the hips, or they have a flap pocket, which is obviously, as the name suggests, the flap covering them. You can avoid both of those and go with a patch pocket, which by definition is more casual than the other two options. You also want to go with a natural shoulder, so no padding here. This is typical of soft tailoring of Italian or Neapolitan style, and this is a Neapolitan cut suit from Spier Mackay. So it doesn't have any added structure in the shoulders. It's the antithesis or the opposite of the power suit. It's more of a relaxed sort of look, and that's exactly what you want to go for in the summer to pull off a full suit. There are other features that can make this more casual. For example, the 3-roll 2 buttoning, where the third button is rolled under the lapel. Some people might wear this for business, but not typically again. So this puts it outside of that milieu, outside of that environment. This jacket also has a third patch. The chest pocket is also a patch. Some people don't like this look, but I think that originates from wearing a tie. And I do agree that it's difficult to wear a tie if you have a 3-patch suit. But as I'll talk about later, you may want to avoid the tie altogether. So the patch is perfect for making this even more casual. It really puts it in that area, right? So features of the suit, very important in what you choose. Now I'm going to put on a double-breasted version of this to show you how even a double-breasted can be made more casual if you do it the right way. Spier Mackay sold this jacket as well as a double-breasted option in the same fabric, and I thought I'd try both. And let me know what you think about that. So usually double-breasted, even more than a single-breasted, has the power suit dynamic. When you wear a double-breasted, you are definitely in the world of business, but maybe not so much in this case. And this is also 100% linen, again, the same material, Irish linen from Spier Mackay, and it has features that kind of go against or work against the typical associations of a double-breasted suit. It does have the peak lapels, which are usually more formal than the notch lapel, which you saw on the previous jacket, but it has the triple patch still. And some people may not like this. They may think double-breasteds need to have a welt pocket and more formal pockets here, but this sort of hybrid makes it appropriate for summertime. And it also has only 4 buttons. So usually your double-breasted would be a 6-button, 6x2, which would be 6 with 2 buttonable, 6 buttons and 2 that are functioning or buttonable. This one is a 4-button, and it has a 4 with 2 buttonable. So if you look up the history of double-breasteds, you'll see that the 4-button itself naturally is more relaxed than a 6-button. And I think that, in addition to the fabric, 100% linen, puts it within the possibility of summer casual wear. So even a double-breasted can be worn this way. Third thing you can consider is choosing the right color of navy. Navy comes in a range of colors, gradations of navy, and I would avoid a really dark midnight navy, because if it is summer and it is hot out, wearing dark colors tends to look strange, whether it's a sport coat or a suit. With a suit, you have more of the same color on you, and if it's dark, it will look a little bit even more strange in that case. So try to go with a navy that is kind of mid-range navy, and with something like linen, you can also count on a bit of bleaching and fading in the sun as you wear it more. Not only will the linen soften and look more casual in that way, but the beating sun will fade it back. So over time, as you wear the linen outside, it will look more lived in, and it'll look like a favorite suit that you wear all the time. And that will gradually give it more and more of that casual vibe, and you'll become more and more comfortable wearing it in that way. So other than the color of the suit and its structure and its material, the fourth thing you can consider is what you wear alongside it. So that would be your shirting and your accessories. So first of all, accessory-wise, the typical business tie is something in a printed silk. So avoid that. As soon as you see a printed silk, you're not going to wear it. If you do want to wear a tie, if you're set on that, then choose one that is in, again, more of a textured or casual fabric. You might go with a knitted tie, knitted silk. You might go with a linen tie. You might go with a blend. You can find linen cotton blends, for example, as ties. Wear one that's fun, maybe something with a little bit of a pop of color to it or an interesting pattern, maybe even a large pattern. Something interesting and fun that helps to carry across that sense of I'm wearing this because I want to, not because I'm going to the office. However, in the summertime, you generally want to keep your neck ventilated, so I would say ditch the tie altogether and just choose a shirt that works well to help dress down the outfit. Here I'm wearing kind of a large grid pattern in navy, and the fabric is a textured sort of meshy material. I think it might be kind of a Giro Inglese with good ventilation. It has a cutaway collar, which is not something you would usually wear in the office. It's a soft collar, too. There's no real lining. It doesn't stand up. It's not a stiff collar. In the office, you would maybe wear a spread collar or a point collar, and it would have more structure to it. This one is quite soft. It folds. It's cut away, it's minimal, right? And that altogether gives you a sense of being relaxed. Open that button, one down, and even more so, you convey that feeling to the people around you. So now I'm going to switch to the Seersucker suit just to show you what that looks like and to talk a little bit more about dressing down with what you wear alongside your suit. So as promised, here's a Seersucker suit, also in navy. It's slightly darker than the linen one that I was wearing just a minute ago. Also is in that natural shoulder, soft tailoring look, which also has the advantage of not fitting as tightly as something with a lot of lining in it. It's almost unlined. It just has a light lining behind the shoulders. That would be another style element to look for, a really minimal lining to give it more of that casual feel. But the thing I wanted to show you is I'm wearing a sky blue polo shirt instead of a dress shirt or a long sleeve shirt. Now, some people say that you shouldn't wear short sleeves with tailoring. I think it's become more acceptable these days. Maybe global climate change has something to do with that. But if you really want to wear a jacket and you want to have a little bit less material on your arms, then a polo shirt would be suitable. Knitwear also has kind of that slouchy, soft look. And if you keep it untucked, it lends to that casual air that we're trying to go for to kind of dress down the suit. I don't like to wear t-shirts. I've tried wearing crew neck t-shirts with suiting. To me, it looks a little forced, a little Miami Vice. I prefer to have a collar on. I've tried v-neck t-shirts, a little bit better, but still like that collar on a polo shirt, but untucked. And you can do it tucked as well. Either one is casual. Untucked will be even more so than tucked. So in Peter's article in Style Forum, he wears a number of colorful shirts with patterns on them. He had one where he's wearing sort of horizontal stripes or striping. Another one where he has on kind of an aloha shirt with flowers on them, on it. And it's not my style particularly, it's not my personality, but I can admire how he wears that well, and we can certainly take away the concept of wearing a shirt that pops with some color, with some pattern, and it's also something that you would generally wear in a casual setting, but wearing it under tailoring to kind of mix the two, dress down the tailoring or dress up the shirt. So definitely something you can do in the summertime with your navy suit. Lastly, in terms of footwear, I would go with something sans laces. Forget about your Derby, forget about your Oxford, forget about your monk strap, and choose a loafer instead. You can go with your calf or suede loafer, probably in a dark brown. But if you really want to go even further, you might do a slip-on, which is something that I also talked about in an earlier video. Slip-on suede, maybe in a dark brown as well, with that gum rubber sole. Definitely more comfortable. And I would always try to avoid long socks And again, it depends on your personality, on your style, on your physical appearance, whatever. If you have decent ankles, all that sort of thing. But summertime, add a little more ventilation, and also to be the ultimate and relaxed, consider wearing invisible socks or the no-show socks with a loafer to kind of ventilate your ankles. And that really lends the highest sense of being relaxed with tailoring. Right? So all possibilities, up to you to pick and choose what you find suitable, what you like best. These are things that I like. I try to put them out there, and you can decide for yourself what you like and what you dislike. So if you found it useful in any way, please like the video and follow us at Gentleman Scholars Club for more advice and discussion, style tips, brand reviews, and stuff like that. Thanks for viewing. Look forward to talking with you all again.